Hey YouTubers, just got this easy sink in the mail and I wanted to do a quick review on it and show you guys just up close what this product consists of. So if you're not familiar with an easy sink, just a portable wash station that you could take anywhere with you and use it to wash dishes. If you're out camping, you could use it to clean fish. If you're about to do some cooking, do some, food prep stuff with it. It's got a place on there where you can, it's got a soap dispenser where you could wash your hands. Let's say you've been out fishing for the day or you're wanting to take a shower. You can use it for a shower. I mean, there's just a lot of different uses. I mean, depending on where you're at, you might want to use it for, a work site or something like that. If you've got a shop that doesn't have water and you want to wash your hands out there, this would be a quick solution to that. So when you get it in the mail, it pretty much is put together for you for the most part. You've got to screw on a few little attachments and put some soap in the dispenser and hook up the battery. But other than that, it's pretty much already put together because there's just not much to it. I mean, it's pretty much a 5-gallon bucket with a pump, a battery, and some attachments to make holding the sprayer easier. Give you a look on the front. It's pretty much just a 5-gallon bucket, even though it holds like 5.4 gallons or whatever. And then here on the top, they've I've got some little pass-throughs for like the hose to pass through there, and then you've got a spot right here for the battery. And then this piece right here is where the battery snaps in once you hook it up. Now you can see right there that the connector has looks like 2 O-rings right in there. So it's if you get water on it, it's not going to matter. It's pretty much waterproof. So once you get the lid pulled off, you can see that there's a soap dispenser right there, and then you've got the 5.5, 6 foot of hose curled up down in there. And then right at the very bottom, you can see that electrical cord going to the pump and the very bottom. And now I will say, one of the cons to this is, that pump is not going to be able to suck every last bit of water out of the bottom of this bucket. So, when they say that you can get 5.4 gallons of water, 5 to 5.4 gallons of water out of this, it really just depends on how close you can get that pump to the very bottom. Of course, you don't want it to run out of water. That's not very good for the pump. It starve itself from and maybe eventually burn out if you keep letting it run with no water there to cool it off. But anyways, so I would say, you'll lose probably about an inch of water there on the bottom that it won't be able to suck out. I just wanted to let you know that, so you wouldn't think that you're not expecting that you're going to be able to use all 5.4 gallons of water. So what you want to do next is go ahead and fill it up with water all the way to the top there. And it says right here on this soap dispenser, which also sticks down into the bucket, so you're going to lose a little bit of water because of that soap dispenser sticks down in there. But it's got a sticker on there that says fill soap dispenser from the top of the lid. So don't loosen it down here below. Now, in order to fill up the soap dispenser, you want to squirt the soap right here into that hole. And then they give you this pump that sticks down in there. It's got a tube that sticks to the bottom of that plastic container. And I will have to say, now I'm really impressed with the pump. I mean, this thing seems like it's made out of like a solid piece of steel or something. I mean, it is super heavy duty. I don't know why they would put something this heavy duty on there, but hey, I ain't complaining. Seems like it's gonna last a long time. I don't think you would break that metal piece up there. Now the pump part might wear out, but the dispenser part up top is definitely not gonna wear out in my lifetime. But anyways, you can see there's a little hole right there on the bottom. It doesn't come out the end, it squirts out the bottom. And then once you put your soap in there, you just stick this down in there and then push it down and it kind of locks in place. And then when you need some soap, you just pump it. Now, it also comes with a sprayer attachment. Seems like it's a pretty good quality. It is made out of plastic. You could probably replace this with a metal one if you wanted to, but this one should be fine. I don't think you'll have any problems out of it, but let's just say you dropped it or it cracked because you tightened it up too much or something. You could easily find a replacement. This seems like a very common size hose and attachment pieces right here, so shouldn't have any problems. Now, if this does leak, they did provide some spare parts right here in this little bag, and I went ahead and poured them out, and they give you like 3 extra O-rings plus the one that's on the nozzle there. And so what you want to do is just slide that up there like that, and then just make sure that you don't cross thread it, and you just tighten it up till it starts to get tight. And then once it starts getting tight, you'll feel it, and there's no need to put no channel locks on this or none of that. There's no tools required. You just tighten it up by hand, and once it gets snug, then that's it. You don't have to worry about it, and that O-ring will keep it nice and sealed so it doesn't spring a leak. Now, it comes with these clips, and this little hook here just hooks up in a tree or whatever you have that's nearby that you want to hook the shower head to, and then it just slides in like this, and you just pull up on it and lock it into place. And then you can see there's grooves right here on this little bracket, and you just take the nozzle, and it just sits down into those grooves, and it holds it in place. So it ain't gonna go anywhere. And then plus, if you don't have a place to hang it on, then you just pop this piece out, and then they give you a suction cup. So you just slide the suction cup in there, and let's say you're using this on your tailgate. You've got the easy seat sitting on the tailgate, and then you want to put this on the side of your vehicle to hold it up and out of your way. Then you can easily suction cup this to the side of your truck or on the windshield or just wherever. And, gives you some pretty good attachment points. They've pretty much got you covered. Now, these little filters right here, these fit on the pump on the inside of the Easy Sink. And what these do is just kind of filter out some of the bigger debris. They're not a real fine filter or nothing like that, but from time to time you need to clean them so they don't get clogged up. And they provided you with the one that's in the Easy Sink, and then 3 others here. So make sure if your flow gets restricted or whatever, you go in there and pop that cover off the front of the pump and just replace that filter. Now, as far as the batteries goes, I got the bundle deal that has 2 batteries and it has 2 USB chargers. What you want to do is just plug this into a USB device, and when it's red, it means that it's charging. When it's blue, it means that it's done charging. So I'm going to undo this one since you've seen that was blue. And then I'm going to plug this other one in, and you can see that there's a red light right there. The cool thing about this is, most vehicles have a USB plug port on them where you can plug stuff in. If you're, like I said, out camping or something, you could always use just like a solar panel or something like that to charge it. Or you could use a battery bank, a power bank like this one here from Rigid. And, I prefer this one because it takes your Rigid tools and you use the batteries from the power tools, and then it hooks it into this little device here. And, it's that simple. These are only like 20 bucks on homedepot.com. I don't think you can buy them in stores, but this would be really good for that. And then once you plug it in, you just hit the power button, and it charges the device up for you. So if you don't have a power source nearby, that might be the best way for you to do it. Now, if you're asking yourself, well, how much battery life would you be able to get from such a small battery? Well, this is the part that's pretty amazing. You can get 9 to 10 buckets of water out of this one battery's charge. So that's roughly 50 gallons of water. That's pretty impressive for such a small battery. And then, this right here on the end, this is your on and off switch for the Easy Sink. I'm going to go ahead and show you before I mount it, and that way you can see it up close. Now, it does have a warning label on there. It says overcharging may cause damage. Do not charge overnight, and make sure that you charge it every 3 months. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, the way that you hook this up is there is a power cord that comes through the top of the lid right there, and it's nice and sealed up. And like I said, there's a couple of O-rings right in here, and you just want to take and plug it up And then once it's plugged up, then you just want to twist it clockwise until it bottoms out. And then don't twist it anymore. That's good enough. And you'll know when it's done. And then you take and you push it down onto this clip right here to hold it nice and steady where it's not going to go anywhere. And then, like I said, this is your on and off button to turn the pump on. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing full of water, and we're going to test it out and see if it really works, and see how good the water comes out. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm here in my kitchen, and I just filled the Easy Sink up. I've got it filled right there to the bottom of my thumb. It's almost to the top. It's probably about 1.5 inches from the top. So I figured by the time I push the soap bottle down in there, that would fill it up some more. And so it's, for the most part, it's pretty much filled up. So after you fill it up with water, what you want to do next is just take and make sure the electrical cord's out of the way of the lid getting closed, and then the soap dispenser gets pushed down in there. And then you just want to seal up the 5-gallon bucket around the edges, and just use your hand to pop it down, and it locks into place. And then what you want to do next is just pull the soap dispenser out and pour your soap down in there, and you should be good to go. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to try the Easy Sink for the first time. So when you get done filling it up with water, you just take the hose and just push it down into the bucket, and you can use it like this right here. You can come up and get your soap, and when you wash your hands, you turn it on. That's the first time it's ever been started. You've seen that it started right away. And then, like I showed you, the on-off button is right here. And then, sorry it's so windy, but then also, like I said, if you want to use a suction cup mount, you can do that as well. I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to wet the side of my truck because it's got pollen all over the side of it. Should have turned it off. But anyways, just going to stick the suction cup on there like that. So now that you've got the Easy Sink attached to the side of the bed with a suction cup, you come get you some soap, you lather your hands up, then you just hit the button, and now you can rinse your hands off just that easy. Or let's say you want to wash some pots and pans, you've been out camping or something, this would be a great way to wash your pots and pans right here standing up. As far as the water pressure goes, you can see that it squirts out there a pretty good ways. I mean, you would easily be able to take a shower. And I'm sorry the wind's blowing so hard. We're fixing to have a major storm coming in. And on that note, this product will be really good for a natural disaster. Let's say, well, this last year here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we had a major storm come in around Easter, and it wiped out quite a bit of Chattanooga. And those people were without power and water, and this would be a good product for that. And you can see that thing's been running for several minutes, and it's still going. So I gotta say, it's supposed to last like 4 minutes when it's filled all the way up. So I wouldn't have any problem taking a 4-minute shower. And if you're washing multiple people's hands every day, as long as they kept it nice and quick, then you could get away with using this on a job site with a pretty decent sized crew. Plus, you could use this thing to water your garden. Let's say you had just a small garden, you didn't have a water hose. Let's say you live on an apartment or something. You could fill this up in the sink, walk the bucket out on your patio or whatever, and fill up just water your plants. And it beats using one of those watering cans that doesn't hold very much. Wash the dog with it. If you don't have access to a water hose, just a million different uses. And like I said, this would be great for camping. Nobody wants to go to bed with a stinky butt. Anyways, this is a pretty well built product. I would like to see them build the bucket out of something better than just a 5-gallon bucket, maybe when they make their next generation, because this is the second generation Easy Sink. Maybe when they make their next generation, they'll upgrade the bucket to something a little stronger. Now you can see that it just ran out of water. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. And I do have to say that this Easy Sink don't make much noise. I don't really hear any humming or anything from it when it's running, so that is good. Now my only complaint about the Easy Sink is, you know, pretty much just the bucket. You know, they need to make it out of something a little bit different looking than just a 5-gallon bucket. Make it a little bit more sturdier when you go to pick the handle up. It don't feel like it's gonna break, you know. And then as far as the soap dispenser being down, going down into the bucket, if they was to move this up to the top somehow, to where it sticks up out of the top of the bucket, you know, that would just give you that much more water to run a few more seconds, and that way you're not gonna run out. Now with a dispenser this big, I don't know really why you would need that much soap, but you know, you're gonna run out of water long before you run out of soap. So to me, I would think that you'd want to put this up top. And who knows, maybe they might make an improvement and see the video and say, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. Now I was telling you earlier that the pump is not going to go all the way to the bottom of the bucket, and that's true. There's about an inch of water in the very bottom that it can't suck up, because you know there's no way for it to get down there. Maybe if they found a pump that would set more flush to the bottom of the 5-gallon bucket where it could get more of the water out, that might be a benefit as well. This is the Easy Sink website, and as you can see, this is the one that I got. But like I said, the spray head on mine is orange, where this one is black. Now it's normally $144.98. It's on sale for $99.99, and today is April the 9th, 2021. So if it's a different price when you see it later, don't be mad at me. But they offer free shipping right now, and then it comes with, well, they've got a spare battery for an extra $24.99, and they've got a special right now, and this is the one that I got. It comes with the Easy Sink, a spare battery, free shipping and everything for $100. So that's not too terribly bad. You could build one of these, but by the time you build it, you would probably have $100 in it. So I don't know about the longevity of it. Like I said, I just got it today, and I just wanted to see how good that it worked, and everything seemed to work just fine. With them being a new company, I would say if something failed on it, they'll probably, you know, hook you up, you know, if you had a pump go bad or something like that. Now, I'm not sure. I can't speak for them. But, you know, anyways, I'll put a link to their website down below in the description. And make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. You guys know you'll always get an honest review out of me. And so, till next time, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get to see my future videos. And I've got a bunch coming up for you. So stay tuned.